Forum, and it will be in Sandpoint at Tango. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce a mayor who I lovingly call her Mayor Cupcake for so many reasons. And so, Mayor Guzman, if you will please come and enlighten us as to what's going on in your little part of the world.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming to the City of Ponderay for this event. I am Carol Kinsman. I am the Mayor of Ponderay, and I've been the Mayor for 7 years. I thank you for coming, and I thank the Chamber for allowing me to speak to you today. This is my 7th State of the City speech, and it's an honor to be here. I'm not sure how much news I'm going to give you. Some people may have heard some of this before. First off, I'd like to start with the grants that we have received. Thanks to Eric Brubaker, my city planning director, we have been very fortunate to receive quite a few grants this year. I'll make it real short because some people find grants boring, but when you're a little town, grants are what you live for. We received $15,000 ITD technical assistance for bicycles and pedestrians planning. It's going to help with our bike paths. We won $260,000 from the Community Choice Project, which is a huge one for us. That's going to give us sidewalks and stormwater drainage improvements on Triangle Drive and Bonner Mall Way. It's currently in design, and they are going to do some construction summer of 2015. So for all those people who drive down Triangle, it will be a lot more safer, and you don't have to run interference with people in the road. Spot, my favorite passion is the little Spot bus. We won a GPS tracking system grant for $10,000, which allows the Spot bus riders to know exactly where the bus is and when it will arrive at the stop that they're standing. It will work off of smartphones and handheld devices, and it's really clever how it shows you where that little bus is going to be. That's a good one. Pathways and Greenbelt Plan, we won $20,000. That is getting us ahead of development pressures because our town is starting to grow and we need to keep up with the bike and ped paths. And that's going to help with connections along Sand Creek. We also did a sub-area planning grant. We won $80,000 for a group called Street Plans. It's a nationally acclaimed planning firm. And I would like you to know that the age of our original plan of Ponderay is from 1904. I think there's been some changes. So we are going to see some planning for the city and everything from Highway 200 to the lake. And that will include Black Rock cleanup and including a park and what I like to call the older section of Ponderay, the village of Ponderay. It's going to give those people access to the lake, and we're hoping to plant a beach. We also won $40,000 from I believe it's a nonprofit called Strong Towns, and it's working on small projects, and people are going to enjoy that. We've named it POPs, and that is projects on public spaces. And so you're going to be hearing more about POP events in the fall and spring, helping to engage people who live in our town or around who come in who just want to make a difference in Ponderay. And I wanted to announce that there is a picnic this coming Wednesday, the 17th, in the little park behind the animal shelter, and it'll be free. And we're also having a curbside chat next Thursday at 6 p.m. at our city council. So if you're interested in coming out and seeing what the city of Ponderay is doing, or maybe you're interested in helping, come on along. You don't have to necessarily live in our boundaries. So those are some of the things that I wanted to tell you about. I also wanted to tell you that we just went through the budget process, which is not my favorite thing to do. But I have good people on my staff and my council, and they make those decisions. And we had approximately $1.3 million divided equally or pretty close over planning and parks, streets, and police. And in the past, our police budget was pretty much the largest portion of our budget. But as time has gone on, our council has pretty much decided that we're able to grow a city now. There's more money coming in and we're growing the city, not necessarily a police department. So there's still great service in our police department, but we can actually spend money in other areas, which is good. We're finishing up on a street impact fee study. That was with David Evans and Associate, and Lisa Key is a fine woman who is helping us grow in a responsible way. That's almost complete, and that was done with community participation. We also have a ribbon cutting in June of 2015, and I think I announced last year that this was going to happen. And slowly parks are built in our town because it takes a lot of money and we just don't have a lot. So, first ever park, June 2015. And we received that money from the Wild Rose Foundation, a $200,000 gift, and we also had grants from Union Pacific Railroad and others. At that park, I don't know if you've been there, but it has the first pump park in this county. And a bicycle pump park has been really, really successful. We had kids on that park before it was even built. And just recently, volunteers just showed up with rakes and whatever, and they were out there maintaining it for us, which is just amazing because we don't have a maintenance department. We don't have any of the things that a normal large city would have, but we still have all of those details that we have to take care of. So we're still waiting for hydro seeding, real bathrooms, a log cabin is coming, landscaping, and some finishing touches, but it's on its way. So I'll be able to do the ribbon cutting before I leave office, which is great. The Ponderay Bay Trail, the city is making the final payment of $400,000 for our portion of the Ponderay Trail. To me, it's the most beautiful walking path on the lake, and it's going to be open to the public forever. And I think it was very progressive of that council to decide to go forward with this because it's absolutely fabulous. If you have not walked it, you need to. We're looking to build a beach down there someday and have an underpass near the railroad tracks so that people can safely get to the beach. And hopefully a dock for kayakers and possibly a lodge of some sort that would be a place for you to stop, have coffee, have a meal, whatever. And that's on my wish list. So, I'm not being funny like I normally am, and it's weird. I'm not used to this. I'm used to cracking jokes and just not being myself here, so I'll get to that, I'm sure. Okay, Highway 95 widening project. Well, that is a huge construction project that's winding down now, and you're going to see some things happen. All that dirt that's in the middle of the rocks that were there, it's going to be hydro-seeded because I wanted greenery coming into town, not rocks. We have crosswalk concrete pads that are going into place, winkies, those push-button crosswalk things to get you across safely without having to dodge traffic. The last bike and ped path is going to be completed, and that's on the Big R property. The people that own Big R and the GVD company, I believe, are actually paying to put their own walking path clear to the Ruby Hotel. Go GVD, that's a lot of money, and they're doing it. Also railings going up so that you don't fall over into the creek. And let's all thank ITD for the signal at Bonner Way because that has saved lives on that one. So we still have some signage issues because it's kind of confusing. There's nothing that says when you come across the Long Bridge that Ponderay you go straight. No offense, Sandpoint, but there's plenty to tell you to go to Sandpoint, but there's nothing to tell you. So I'm having a little discussion about that, and I'm making the head guy down at ITD's hair curl even more. And I keep reminding him, I am your favorite mayor. Just remember that. And he just shakes his head. I think he's probably really tired, but anyway, I will get that done. I also want to remind everybody that 7 years ago, we did not have one bike path other than the one that went nowhere from Highway 200 to 95. It didn't even get there. And in the last 7 years, we've worked very, very hard to have the connectivity between Sandpoint, and you can actually get on a bike now at Dover, and you could end up in Ponderay and get back. I mean, there's ways to do it. So in conjunction with all the other cities, we're working very hard. One of the requests that I had with ITD is they never thought to put in a bike path up 95. And I thought that was horrendous. I didn't tell them that, but I thought it was horrendous. And so one day, you know, you should just ask and you might receive. I did. I asked, and they put it in. So when you see people from ITD, thank them, because they did not have to do that, and they have made it possible to be on the east side of Highway 95 and ride a bike or walk safely. So hoo-hoo for them for that too. I did not want to speak about the spot bus because I thought Annie Shawha was going to be here. Is she coming?
No, but the president of the city council is here, Bill Strand.
Oh, Bill, are you going to speak?
No, go ahead and bring the clock.
Well, I really wasn't prepared for that, but I looked around the room and I saw she's not here. And the spot bus to me is one of the best things that ever hit this county, and it just shows that when cities work together, they can do miraculous things. And the spot bus has helped so many people of just all walks of life. I can't tell you enough about that little bus, how much I love it, and what it's done for this community, and I mean the whole community. We just keep funding it and working for grants and helping it out, and so far, Ponderay has 2 covered bus stops. One hasn't been put into place, but if it's the last thing I do, we'll have covered bus stops at every spot in Ponderay, because it's too cold. We need stuff for the weather for kids and people and make it comfortable. So that's my hope. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit, especially because it's today. And when we had our moment of silence, I don't know about you, but it's instant remembering exactly where you were, what happened, and what you saw. And I don't think any of us can get that out of our heads. And to this day, I have trouble talking about it. I just replay it. And so I'm going to try and get through this. That could be why I'm not being so funny today. I'm kind of sad. I wanted to talk about the police department. Out of respect and great admiration, I would like to give a shout out to my police department, but all police departments too, for keeping you all and our community safe and protected. And I know that I hear it all the time that we make lots of money on these tickets. No, we don't. I hear all the time that we have speed traps. No, we don't. But I want to remind you of something, that if that officer pulls you over, it's for a reason. And maybe he's saving your life, or he's saving somebody else's life. But when a policeman gets up every morning, and he puts on his uniform, and he puts on that weapon, and he leaves his home, he never knows for sure if he's going to come back home.